In Dain's fortress, having escaped the Tomb of Horrors, what has happened so far? Um, Sean.
We escaped it, and then we went and fought stuff on a map I can no longer see. And Tabor turned into a fart to chase down the one guy who tried to run away after we killed all the angels. Not angels, fallen angels. Evil monsters. We slaughtered the crap out of them.
Alright. And so we'll start right away while everyone is in their hourglass in the magical time place outside of time. Back with the fart cloud.
All right, so I would like to scout this room because we're in a hallway, right?
Yeah. So he, Zephyrus Cohen, went through this door, and he was himself a mist, and he was flying down this corridor, this hallway, and you see at the end of the hallway a set of stairs. The stairs lead up, and you can hear a lot of noise and activity up there. And then you have the door you came from, and then there's a door directly near you. And Haon and Din are in here as well. Actually, no, they shouldn't be. Everybody would need to have gone back if they wanted to gain the benefits of the short rest.
Oh, and I was supposed to remind you that I plan to check the body of the dead vampire guy. I'm quiet. Whatever.
Yeah. He has a sword, and some old tattered equipment that is basically ruined at this point, including his leather armors. He doesn't have anything of value. Anyways,
Alright.
Kaber, what were you? Yeah, so those are the things that you see in the hallway. Sorry, Din. I'll move you back.
Okay, so are there no other doors or ways to go? Is this a dead end hallway?
I apologize. There's a door here at the end of the hallway, and then in the north end of the hallway is a set of stairs going up, and you can hear a bunch of noise and activity. It sounds like there are a lot of people up there. And then there's a door directly across from you. And otherwise, it's just a hallway with stone walls and stone floors and ceiling.
All right. As my gas cloud, I like to try to go under the seam of the door or through a keyhole or any type of crevice that I could squeeze my way through.
For this door right next to you?
Yeah.
All right, you're easily able to do that. When you come into the other side, you can see a badly injured angelic figure lying on a floor with rows of tables with papers and different stationery and quills and ink and rows of scrolls. There are spatters of blood in the room, and you see this angelic figure on the floor. She's has a glowing circle of magical light around her, and her leg is badly mangled and twisted, and there are blood stains on her wings and on her robe. And let's see here. Let me try something real quick. She says, "Hello? Hello?" And you see her like backing up against this like shattered bookshelf with her weapon pointed out into the darkness.
All right. As a fart cloud, I cannot communicate, and I don't want to drop my effect just yet, so I'm going to explain my intent first, and then I'm going to explain what I'm going to do after. My intent is to go back into the hallway towards my friends, and somehow alert them of this, or try to direct them here. What I imagine that look like is Kaber just like slips back under the door, and then like in this cloud form, kind of surrounds probably Catawan's hand, and then surrounds the like handle on the door, and like tries to connect it to it, and then he's going to continue if I can.
Okay, you do that, and all of you, Katawan, everybody, you can see that because you use the hourglass. You don't lose any time. So in an instant, you gain an hour, and you didn't lose any in the real world. So you gain your short rest, and you're able to move.
Okay, I move into the hallway and then reach for the door.
All right, let me make
I
sure you're not
follow
blocked.
him in his spark cloud.
And my fart cloud has limited time, so while they're all investigating this room, I'd like to split the party and try to scout ahead the staircase.
All right, and I'm not seeming to be able to. There we go. We can get rid of that. Okay, and I'll move you all. I can't move that door, so I'll move you all into the hallway. All right. Got it. Oh, Hayon, did you enter the room?
Yes.
Okay. You saw the same thing I described to Kaber. As soon as you enter the room, it's dark in here, but except for the light that's coming from inside the doorway, as you open the door, it creaks and there's this angelic figure, and she first is raising her blade meekly up. She looks extremely weak, and but then she says, you're not one of those creatures. And then she drops her blade, and then she says, please, I beseech you, aid me, please. And it looks like she's about to pass out.
Question: do I know this angel?
No.
Okay.
Catawan casts 4th level Cure Wounds.
So what's holding her down?
Just her own fatigue from bleeding out. She's just on the floor and been cut up and wounded, and her leg is mangled and almost, it's got a compound fracture. How many hit points would that grant there, Katawan?
30 hit points.
That does not fully heal her. However, it does help her, and she thanks you. It doesn't heal her leg, but she says, "Thank you so much. Who are you? What are you doing here?"
We are adventurers of Perenval, and we are here to defeat and destroy Dain Heart.
While they're talking about that, I'd like to use Divine Sense to A, make sure she's not secretly an evil angel, and B, keep track of any potential undead fiends or other celestials that come within 60 feet of us.
Okay. You sense the same pure, clean light that you experienced on the Lunar Isle and at the infinite staircase at the feet of your god.
Aha!
And that is to say that she is entirely divine and good. She's not evil. She says, she drops the spell around her, and the magical glow of the circle suddenly fades, and she says, I'm afraid that I would only hold you back in my current condition, but I'll help you any way that I can. The others, they're lost. Something happened to them. Whatever they saw there on the other end of the portal, it changed them. For those of us that didn't approve, anyone that was refused to be exposed to the truth that they called it, they were either murdered or, well, I'm the only one left.
Well, the fallen are no longer a concern.
That's hard to imagine. You brought...
Unless there's a lot more of them than we thought.
What sort of armies did you bring?
Right, okay. The ones that were before we ran to this room are of no concern. Apparently there's a lot more.
There are legions, thousands.
I just start looking through my bags full of weapons, I think we can manage that.
Kaber, what are you? You're a fart cloud. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to scout ahead down the staircase or up the staircase.
All right. I don't know. It would not be dark in here, so let me try to fix that for you.
I had a candle lit as caber, but obviously I'm a cloud now. I can't hold the caber.
I'm gonna.
Ooh, God.
It's definitely not lit in here at all. Or I mean, I'm sorry, it's not dark in here. There are dozens. In fact, these tokens don't really do it justice of just workers. You see some of the workers are people in robes, and they are performing some kind of like ceremony or rite, and instead of working. And then there's tons of other people also in robes who are lifting boxes and working, and they are all singing and chanting as they work. And then there are these more of these dark angels with inky black eyes, and there are just dozens of them. And then you can see at the far end of the room, I'll see if I can put some light over there too, because it would be very clearly lit. At the far end of the room is there's this tether that's connected, and there are supplies on this winch that's being sent across on a tether back and forth into this portal, and there's stuff going in and out of the portal.
Okay. Is there no other exit from this room?
Yes. To your right, you can see another set of stairs going down. The rest, it's just a stone wall that's part of the structure. And then what looks like magma or fire that you can actually you can feel the heat off of, even from where you are.
All right, with my limited time, I'd like to continue to the other set of stairs.
Okay. You do that. Okay, here you go.
I don't know where you said. Oh, okay, thank you. I don't know where you said they were.
And you see an identical hallway here with 3 doors as well.
Okay. Assuming this one goes back into the main chamber where we fought the vampires. Special would tell me that.
Yeah, it is pretty obvious to you that that's the case.
Okay. With that, I'd like to check the door opposite of it.
All right. When you check that door, you see, when you go inside, you see a huge figure on the inside, and a lot of heat and noise as he seems to be hammering something. And you've seen something just like this before. You saw a being that looked exactly like this in the dungeons of Tarodahel.
Knowing that
Hey, Joel.
Catalan made good friends with him, I'm not gonna bother this guy. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this room. And try. Is this a dead end here?
Nope, there's a door there.
All right. Well, to try to squeeze my way through this door.
All right.
I guess.
In that room, you see bookshelves. It's obviously some kind of small library. And you hear. Actually, make a perception check.
Okay. Perception. It's been such a long time since I've had to do such a menial task as a perception check. I don't think this first one is level 20, so.
Okay. You can tell, although someone is trying to hide it, that there's someone in here that is wounded and trying to hide their presence, and they have a choking, gasping breathing in the corner of the room.
Okay. I would like to. Oh, man, this is so weird. I don't know how a gas form. I think I will squeeze my way in between the bookshelves, because there are bookshelves here, right?
Yeah.
And just ever so far. I just want to peek and see who's over there. We've already found an injured angel. But there's also a big creepy iron golem, so I don't know what could be hiding in here.
All right. You see, you're able to see from between the books a figure lying against the floor, very wounded, and they are, just badly wounded, and they're gasping for air, and they're making a labored breathing noises, like that.
Is there no other exit from this room?
No. I'm
Okay.
gonna. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna pan back to everybody else.
Yep.
Meanwhile, she has just told you that there are probably legions, thousands of these dark angels somewhere, and her anyone that disagreed with them when they came back from that portal, something happened to them, and when they came back, that the rest were killed, except her, and she was almost killed. What do you all do?
I would like to lay hands on her until either I am out of lay hands or she doesn't need any more healing.
All right. How many?
I have 60 points.
60 points. All right. I will not take any more from you than than we would need. Catalan, how many hit points did you give her?
30.
30. Okay. So that would be 38 hit points then that you would need to give her.
I can do that.
And then it actually miraculously, you see this glowing light, and her leg is miraculously restored. And she gets up perfectly able now, except for the scratches and marks of blood that are still there. And even though some of those are gone, and she bows to you slightly and she says, "I see you, servant of Helm."
And then I just kind of like, and then I'm gonna like walk away and like go look at this other door that nobody touched.
And she says, what armies have you brought? What power do you represent that would
You're
oppose
looking
it?
at the best of Perenval, milady.
Yes, I can see that you're a servant of Tempest, but where are your armies?
This is it, sister.
I see. To death, then. And she like wipes off her blade and she puts it back and she says, "If you'll have me, I would like to join you."
I mean, we
Steps
can
up
always use
and
more angels.
steps up and
Oh.
asks her to kneel.
What's that?
I believe he's saying Ardrith steps up and
Ardrith
asks
steps
her
up
to
and
kneel.
asks her to kneel.
Oh, he asked her to kneel?
I believe he's attempting to knight her.
Oh. She is, despite being covered in armor and everything, cherubic and tender and beautiful, and in humility she kneels, of course, when someone would ask her to kneel.
Ardrith turns and asks for a sword. All I've got is, gigantic 12-foot lance.
I mean, if it ain't broke.
I'll pull out a short sword and hand it over.
Ardrith takes the sword. What is your name?
I am known as Liari.
I, Ardrith, King of Perenval, write to you, Andre, the knight of my realm, this day forward. You swear your allegiance.
I'm sorry. And she looks horribly embarrassed and shy, and she says, I didn't know that you were a king of mortal men, but I'm afraid that I cannot accept this fine honor. I hope you can forgive me. And she bows her head, and she says, I am already sworn in obedience to another, and I cannot offer my allegiance to any other.
Ardrith nods his head, says, well, would you do the honor? It's the honor of joining us in this battle.
She says, I believe this battle will be to death, and I will need to do so, for my brothers and sisters are already taken, and none are left. And she says, then you are a king. Where are your armies, my lord?
I'm unsure at this time.
Then we are both without many friends.
Boarded Kriv and I, my friendly dragonborn here. We've been away from you from our realm for 50 years or more. Here, within the Undervale, or on some plane of existence.
Kriv, your head is throbbing, and you do not feel well. And that voice just keeps, like, echoing in your mind.
The same one from before?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I hear what it's saying?
Yeah, the same thing I sent you before.
That's right.
It probably is
yeah.
pretty uncomfortable to just keep hearing that, actually.
Yeah, Kriv kind of looks up long enough to like give a courteous wave or just a raised hand gesture to her while Ardrith is talking to her, but then he's kind of rubbing his temples and grimacing a little bit and gritting his teeth through it, pacing back and forth a little bit because the pain's certainly getting worse.
The angel looks at all of you and she says, Dain Earnhardt has always been known as a force for good in the many worlds for as long as anyone knows. He's known as a great hero that has opposed the far realms. That's what our work here is for. And you can actually see that some of the spines of the books in the angelic light coming from Faith and from this angel, they're in common, the ones that you can read, they're all about the far realm. They're always about aberrant things beyond the gods. And she says that this temple, it was established here many years ago to research the far realm and aberrant things, and the barrier between what is real and unreal between the multiverse and the far realm.
Excuse me.
Once Dain went through the portal, he stayed for some time, and as I said, my comrades, the other Deva that answer to the Archon Erothiel, when they returned, they were changed, as I think you have already seen. They kept saying that this was the only way to keep the Far Realms from dominating the planes of existence. I'll pan back to Caber. Caber, what are you doing?
Caber,
Oops, sorry about that.
it's
Let me
okay.
fix it.
I'm like, I don't know where I went now. Caber would probably, I don't know if Caber understands what he's seeing, but he would understand that this is like something that he probably can't handle alone, and he also knows that his spell is wearing off, so he's going to run or float back to the hallway here, cut back through the combat room that we fought before, and then go back to the hallway where he assumes his friends might still be.
All right, and then what? Your spell like expires at that point, and you turn back into
Yeah,
not fart.
it only. Oh, let me see. I double check. I don't think it lasts as long as I thought it did. So let me double check how long it lasts, and then we'll go from there. But I want to say that it doesn't last that long.
Okay.
Up to an hour. So yeah, it's only got an hour, and I can only move 10 feet at a time. So I would have assumed that it took a long time for him to scout all of those areas.
Yeah, you're like this slowly moving. You're going at the speed of smell. So
yeah. So by the time he finally gets back, his spell probably fades, goes back to human form or fey form.
when you return and you corporealize, you see your friends standing around speaking to this angelic figure with wings and weapons. It is a beautiful woman, and she's saying, as far as I can tell, it seems that Dain plans to use forbidden magics, things that have been they were forbidden by our god Oghma from ever being used in the mortal planes, particularly the control of time. It's incredibly dangerous to use that kind of magic, but somehow he plans to use time and the flow of it, supposedly to stop the Far Realm.
What is this farm realm, sister?
I suppose you might not know, but
The farm realm is a realm where people have like agriculture takes over, and they're really good at planting things. And I assume they will like use their powers to like feed other realms. Am I correct?
the angel like looks at you seriously because she doesn't know that you're, I don't know if
And
you're.
I think when she looks over, Caver like immediately he starts blushing and bows deeply. And then he's like, forgive me. And he kind of like just side eyes Catalan like he has no idea what he walked into.
She bows and she says, "There's nothing to forgive. I'm afraid that isn't so. My name is Liari, and I am a deva of Erothiel, a servant of the god Oghma, defender of knowledge, and defender of the mortal planes against forbidden knowledge and the aberrant. And to answer your question, my friend, the far realm is that thing that is beyond what anyone can imagine. It is the place that is beyond the power of the gods. It is a non-place, a place that is not allowed to exist but does."
I think we just left Felsian there.
It is a place where beings that devour whole realities they move with minds that can't be understood or bargained with. It's also a thing that many who study it go mad.
Do you think Dain Earnhardt has gone mad then?
I think that might be possible. That would explain what's happened here.
Well, we did promise those Pokemon that... Sorry. We did promise those creatures that we'd hear Dain out in order to cross the lake, so I guess we're gonna have to let him speak his piece whenever we encounter him. Caber, what all did you see on your reconnaissance trip?
Oh boy, so much. Remember that forge guy that made Theron his gun, the gun that you now carry? You remember
Out of
that thing?
character, I didn't know I carried the gun, but okay.
Pretty sure
yeah.
he handed it to Caber, and Caber like almost dropped it, and then Caber immediately gave it to you.
Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, so Caber would be like, one of those forger guys are here. So maybe that's another ally, as he kind of gestures to the angel. He goes, also, there's a library, which was kind of spooky, and there was someone hurt in there too. They didn't look too friendly. But who am I to judge? I don't think anyone's friendly when they're dying. Also, there's a room up ahead where there's clearly a bunch of people doing lots of evil things, and there's a tether to a portal, so they're probably either pulling or pushing something, or I don't know what they're doing up there, but it looks complicated, and there's a whole lot of them up there. So do with this information what you will, but that's what I was able to glean.
Liari says, "That's the portal to the far realms. That's the portal where we have both been defending against whatever's beyond it to come into existence, into the multiverse. But also, it's where supplies and people have come and gone into the far realms for whatever ritual Dain has been conducting."
So Dane's on the other side of the portal.
Yes.
So if we close the portal, would he be trapped there?
No. That seems unlikely.
But if we close the portal, would that stop him from, or delay his plans?
I don't know. What I can say is that the use of chronomancy is incredibly powerful and dangerous. It's possible that he may have already done things far into the future from now and even from the past, but from the present.
I've fought myself in the future, past and present, so that doesn't surprise me that that's something that would exist along those lines. However, I don't know how we approach this, and he gets gestures to his friends.
What do you all do?
What do we do? Good question.
I mean, we could go up there and be like, "Hey guys, we want to talk to Dain," and see how that goes. But there's a lot of them, so if they don't like that plan, we could just try to sneak up and jump into the portal, but then they can always close it behind us, and that could be Dane's plan all along. So yeah, I don't know. We have options though. Like I said, there are other people here. It's more secluded. There's the forge, and there's also a library where we can investigate and try to find more allies and understand more.
Yes, I say we take our time and explore the rest of the rooms and talk to this forger before we move forward.
I mean, I wouldn't say take our time. I think we should probably hurry things along.
You speak of the armorer, Liari says.
The, as in one, because we've met one before.
Oh yes, there are more like him. The armorer of our temple forges things of powerful magical tools. They're needed for the work we do here, but you would need an authorization from Dain or one of his lieutenants.
You couldn't convince him?
I could, of course, try. And she bows.
I mean, as a servant of Oghma, I figure you have the most leeway out of all of us.
Or alternatively, would an authorization be something we could find on one of the bodies we made?
I'm not sure, but usually, in order to obtain something made by the armorer, you would need a magically sealed authorization from either Amur or Dain.
Well, Amor's dead, so we have that going for us.
Oh. Terrible. And she bows her head and holds her head in her hands.
Well, he started it.
There's so much death.
Faith, what do you think? We have a new angel friend. Okay, we're just gonna stammers.
I kind of healed her and wander off. I'm down here by this other door.
Oh.
Okay, what you doing down there? What you doing down there?
I was trying to get in that room and while they were talking and see what's up with it.
You want to do that?
Try to I don't want to kick it down, but if there's no sound coming from inside, I kind of want to see if it's open, and if not, try to get in.
Yeah, it's not locked. Okay.
Also, my token's locked. Oh, my token's locked out.
All right.
I'll fix that. I'll move you over here.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. A half a dozen or so plain beds, chests. They're all filling this fairly small room. Tiny windows look back out over the stony lake where you came from. And along with the strange flickering light of the bioluminescent material over the lake, there are personal effects that are scattered around the room. But other than clothes that you see in here and some books, there's nothing of particular use or interest. And
there's no magically sealed authorizations to visit the armorer then?
Nope.
Because that would be awesome.
What you see here appears to be a dormitory for servants, but there's nothing particularly of use or interest here.
Okay, then yeah, I go back to everybody else.
All
Okay,
right.
inventory-
Padawan has... Go ahead.
Inventory check time. How many more potions of farting do we have?
We literally only used one, and everybody got one. So 6.
Wait, everybody has one?
I believe so. Was that not accurate?
Where did you all get potions?
Yeah, where
of
did
gases
everyone
from?
get one from?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was thinking that. I don't know why I'm realizing he said the potion of farting, and I'm thinking of the
you meant
hourglass.
the hourglass, yeah.
Gotcha.
However, to answer your question, Dane, I have or Din, I have no more.
You've revealed me. I've been hiding among you all of this time.
Leading the way.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. How many did you say we have left?
Kaber checks his purse 0 from myself.
All right, that's unfortunate. Those would have been great right about now. All right. Well, just there's a portal, right? That we need. My understanding, okay, set in the stage. My understanding is there's a portal, and Dain is on the other side of it, which means we need to get to the portal physically. But in between us and the portal is a ton of people, right?
Well, I could turn us invisible. I mean, it's not gas, but it's something.
Okay, that's one problem solved. Are there any other problems?
Kind of have a problem with the whole you jump to turning us all into farts before seeing if anyone could cast invisibility, but that's neither here nor there, I guess.
Well, invisible people aren't... If you catch an invisible person, you say, oh no, there's an invisible person, we should kill them. But if you catch a fart, you say, ew, and walk away.
Does the potion literally turn us into farts?
No, just when Caber uses it.
Okay, well, if Caber uses it and turns us into an actual fart, a fart is a cloud of methane, which is a flammable gas. So I wouldn't recommend going around fire if we do that again.
That's also a good point.
He's offering just, I think, to use the invisibility spell, as I'm understanding it.
Yeah, okay. I'll let. So
I
here's
mean-
the question. A good strategic level question. Do we have any other problems or things we need to take care of before going into the portal? Or could we just invisible our way over there and call it a victory?
I mean, if killing Dain doesn't free the fallen angels from whatever's happened to them, we'll just have to kill them later anyway. So yeah, if we can avoid killing them in hopes of saving them, I'm down for that.
Yeah, Angel shenanigans. That's for angels to figure out. I assume that's not our problem, if we can help it.
He says to an angel.
Yeah, 2 angels.
Leari, I have a question for you. I have a calligrapher's set. Do you think you could describe to me an authorization from Dain, and maybe we can try to forge one to get to the armor and see if he can help us at all?
I think we could. It would take some time. I would need to use the materials here in the library, and it would take a powerful spell. And basically, if someone is willing to sacrifice, I will say, a 5th or higher level spell slot in any way applicable to this, I will say that it would take an hour, but you could do it.
Fuck it, I'll give it up.
What would be something that might apply 5th level or above to forging something?
I mean, I don't have an actual spell that would be useful, but like, if they just need magic.
Well, what do you have?
I mean, I guess I could probably, if I'm playful with my words, make either Hunter's Mark and or Life Transference work.
Life transference works.
Yeah, because I can cast both of those at 5th level, so.
Yeah, life transference works. Okay, you sacrifice that. You guys spend an hour here. There's one problem. This place has been turned upside down, and Dane's lieutenants lay dead on the floor, and you probably only have several moments. But you do have hourglasses.
Who's willing to cough up?
I'll cough up mine.
All right. So you sacrifice another hourglass, and you enter a place beyond thought and time, and you spend an hour of your time as Liara quickly tries to use the spell along with faith to imbue a document along with forgery to create something, and then after an hour she says, "Okay, I think it's complete. I think this will work." And then you pass back into reality.
Back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
I was thinking it and you said it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
do you
Caber,
want
can
me
you
to-
lead the way to the armor?
Yeah.
Here,
We'll
I'll
go
just
back
move
to-
you guys. You don't have to worry about trying to drag tokens around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm just going to clarify that I do move through the dead person's room instead of going up to the ritual room and around.
And there you go. I'll move everybody away from this giant AC 20 monster with like 90 hit points. And then also,
Before we get there, I want to ask Larry, Larry, I want to ask Larry if she knows if the armor is immune to charming magics, or if he may be subdued by Dane's charming magics.
yes, I think it's very unlikely that he would be affected by charms in any way. But that is a very clever idea. Do you know charms?
No. Just curious if Dane had it pretty easy making this guy do what he wanted him to do.
The armorer is a being of ancient artifice, and very little can overcome him.
Alright, but that we can continue.
All right. You all make your way back through the room. Thanks to the hourglass, this all doesn't take very much time in real time, although you've spent about 2.5 hours doing all this in your time. And you come into the armory, and there's this blocky, windowless room with just slabs of plain gray on the floor and the ceiling. And the walls, however, glitter and shine. They're things that are clearly made, and they're made very, very well. Silver light dances off dozens upon dozens of weapons that hang from racks that rest against wooden stands. And otherwise, there's this big anvil, a forge, and magical glowing things and chests, hammers that have crystals that glow in them, and different other tools that also glow. And this thing like turns to you with glowing eyes, and it says, "May I help you?"
Yes, brother. We are here to ask for you to make a special weapon, a weapon that can subdue a mass amount of people, either put them to sleep or decommission them, what have you.
And he like takes his metallic hand and puts it like falsely on a big metallic chin, just as a human anthropomorphized gesture, but uselessly. And then he turns back and he says, "Do you have the authorization?"
Yes, we do. Catalan hands him the authorization.
And Leodri comes forward and bows to him, and he nods back to Leodri. And Leodri turns to you all, and she says, "Representatives of Dain," and she like nods and looks at you all, and she says, "If there are weapons that you need, please help yourself." And she motions toward all these glittering weapons, and there's any kind of magical weapon you can imagine, basically. And then the giant artificer, he says, "What weapon would that be?" So basically, like, you tell him what weapon would do that.
Well, could you imbue the power into a ring or an amulet? It doesn't have to be a weapon.
I would like to pull out my lightning cluster grenade
Okay, yeah.
and just like put it down carefully and say, "Can you make this cooler?"
Ooh. I would like to supply a bag of 1,000 ball bearings, because I feel like that would be something beneficial to add to a cluster lightning grenade.
Tabor takes off his hat and removes the crown of swords from it and puts it in the pile as well.
What have we done?
Right, yes.
What
What is it called?
A claymore?
Oh, there's another word.
A war
for this.
crime?
A nuke? Is that what you're the word?
Yes,
Yeah,
Hey.
it's all three.
there's a nuke for this. And he says, I'm trying to figure out. Basically, you can. Touch spheres. How we going? But it takes. He's like, it will take some time, and it will be heavy. Who will carry it? And it's going to be something like keg-sized.
I mean,
Kriv steps forward and offers to pick it up.
you're more than welcome to, but I'm only carrying about 100 pounds of my capacity.
Oh yeah, it's a bag of holding. Yeah.
Oh,
you
shit.
wait. You can't put this in a bag of holding.
I'm not going to. Everything else is already in the bag of holding.
Yeah, you can't put this in a bag of holding.
I don't need
That would
to.
be bad. No, so you're offering just to straight up carry it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I've got like 170 pounds I can still carry.
Yeah,
this will
Chris
take
carrying
a
little
lot
more
of
now.
noise and a lot of time. So, do you sacrifice another
Ardrith.
hourglass?
And he
Ardrith wants to
continue
step
work.
forward and ask if he can
Sorry.
assist in any way. The fellow blacksmith.
These things are beyond Ardrith.
I just want to clarify. Wasn't he already forging before we got here?
Yeah. This is
So the,
a
so the
crowd of
additional
people.
noise shouldn't be. I'm just saying the additional noise from him forging us our item shouldn't be any different from what he's normally been up to.
Yeah. So, anyways, a lot of noise, a lot of time. Do
I
you
don't know
want to?
that we need to use an hourglass here. We're supposed to be here. If anyone comes in, we can just point to the big guy and say, like, "Don't worry, we're supposed to be here."
You want to do that?
Yeah, I mean that makes more sense to me.
I feel like I'd rather sacrifice the hourglass, to be honest.
I think we could
Like,
use the hourglass in
as
interesting
long
and
as he,
creative ways later.
well, we still have like 4 of them. Even if we use one, we still have 3 of them.
I think
Plus,
we're down to
believe
3.
Felthin can intercede twice.
I'm not using mine for that. Just put that on the table.
I mean, I'll use mine for it. I don't care. Like,
Right.
like as long as we're certain he can still work if I use it. Like, I don't want to like freeze him and then where you like come out of it and he's not even started.
Yeah, he could do his job in here. Yeah. Y'all would
Alright,
be
then
kind of
I'll use
squeezed
mine.
in, but okay. You once again go into a place that is outside of time for an hour as he hammers away and creates this object. It's this thing that is about this big, and it is a bomb, clearly some sort of explosive device. And he says, only one person can be given command of this. Faith?
I mean, if I'm gonna be carrying it anyway.
Okay. He says, you will want to be very, very far away when it is used.
I will keep that in mind.
And then eventually, it's finished and you have your item. Meanwhile, there's also like stacks and stacks of other clearly magical weapons here, in case anybody wants to peruse. And is there anything
What's
else?
the arrow inventory like?
The arrow inventory. That's a good question. Let's see here. You can find stacks of +3 ammunition. Probably at least, what's one quiver? 20 arrows?
My quiver can fit 60.
60. You could probably find 60 +3 magical arrows.
My goodness me, I'll take all of them.
Only 63.
Yeah.
Would-
Oh, and you also find a bow here. I don't know if you want that.
I
You see.
got a +1 bow.
What were you saying, Hang on?
Oh, sorry. Let me. Thank you. Yeah. What were you saying, Kyle? Sorry about that.
I just wanted to look after he was done at the swords and shields.
You do. Then you do find an arrow. And it is extremely well made. It is clearly magical, and it looks more magical than your weapon. But you
Would
probably
it be Sorry.
Yeah.
Did you say it was a bow or an arrow?
It's a bow, but
I
it's
would
but it's a
like-
long bow.
Excellent.
Oh, that's a good
I
thing.
would like it.
Okay, you pick it up and you hear whispers coming from it as you pick it up, and the string vibrates.
I would like to sigh dramatically and then not respond to that at all.
All right.
Are there any warhammers?
Well, first of all, back to Kyle. Kyle, what were you? What does it say on doing?
He's looking at the swords and looking to see if there's any shields.
Move mythic mounts over here. Swords and shields. You don't find any shields, but you do find a very powerful sword. It is some sort of, it's glowing with some sort of radiant magical energy. And let me find it here. Let me see if I can find it. Actually, nah, it's not that one. It's this one. You find a hilt of a blade. It looks like almost like a single length without any crossguard with a buttons on it, but it's like a length of metal.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll pick it up and take a look at it.
When you pick it up, like it ignites and it's weightless, but there's this like length of searing light that comes out the end of it.
Oh my god, you just gave Heian a lightsaber.
It is a +2 weapon as a long sword. It does 1d8. Let me find the other info for it. Let's see here. It's +2 to damage and attack. Does 1d8 radiant damage, and it emits 15-foot radius light, and then another 15 feet of dim light. And undead take an additional 1d8 damage.
Okay.
I guess you
have
need to
that,
know about your bow. Yeah,
Journal somewhere.
I could put it in there later.
Okay.
Also can just send you the article. I'll put it here.
That's better.
Here, I'll put it in chat. And then Dain, your bow, because you need to know this info. It is a. It doesn't have a bonus. It keeps whispering things. Whenever do you have the ability to like do a favored foe?
Yep.
Type of thing. This will only work against the Jabberwock, though. What I'm about to say. You always have advantage on attacks against it. They gain no benefit from cover except total cover. You have no disadvantage from long range attacks. And if the attack hits, it does an additional 3d6 piercing damage on top of the regular longbow damage. But if they live, you have disadvantage on attack rolls of all other weapons. Like if they survive.
Okay.
I'll reinterpret
Very
that later.
interesting.
I would
Only
also
against
And
the
then-
Jabberwock.
On top of that, you can also add your proficiency die to the attack and damage.
Ah,
Your proficiency bonus. But you already do that, but not to the damage. But you would do to the damage now. But only to the Jabberwock. Otherwise, it acts as a longbow.
very curious.
But you also have Snicker Snack. Okay. Joe, what were you saying? Yeah, what were you saying?
Joe, were you saying something?
You said you wanted to look for something or do something.
Oh, I was saying I wanted
No.
to look for a shield too.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
Catalan.
want anyone to hurt me.
Yeah, you wanted to see if they had a Warhammer. Let me see. Let me see. It is this one. You do see a hammer, a Warhammer, and it is clearly magical.
Does it look more magical than the +1 that I already have?
I'll just tell you because you guys are running out of time. You're going to put this to use soon, I think. It's a +1 weapon, but it does +3 against constructs. Additionally, anytime you roll a nat 20 on this, the target takes an additional automatic 7 bludgeoning damage, or 14 if it's a construct. Additionally,
Sorry, go ahead.
a construct is things like this thing here. This like robots and like artifices and stuff. Additionally, if a construct has 25 hit points or less left and you hit it, it is automatically destroyed. You can also add your proficiency bonus to the attack and to damage. So yeah, it's better.
Okay. Pick it up. Can you send the article over chat?
Yeah, it's that, except it's a hammer.
What
Okay.
about rapiers? And if there are no rapiers, I would also like to peruse if there are any boots or capes or hats or fashionable items.
Yeah. I think Caber's like looking through all these like swords and hammers and stuff, and like, where's the capes? Where's the hats?
Where's
There's
the
no
elegance?
capes or hats. Yeah, no, it's just weapons.
So, just for clarification, was your previous nope about there being shields in here?
Yeah, there are no shields. These are all
Okay.
just weapons.
How about rapier?
Yeah, you find a finely made rapier, and I'll tell you what it does because I think this is all gonna. You don't have time to figure this out. So basically, the time that you spend attuning this is what you got. It is a. What I'm about to send you, it's a rapier and it's +1. Okay, so that's a difference. But in addition, when you do a nat 20 on an attack, the target takes an additional 14 slashing damage, and then you get to roll another 20. And then if you roll a nat 20 again, you lop off one of the target's limbs.
Okay. So, does the second one count as a separate attack,
No.
or is it just okay?
Actually, yeah, no, it doesn't. It is not another attack. And then, in addition, bright light is shed 10 feet radius, and then dim light another 10 feet. So
Okay.
it is a rapier of sharpness +1.
Nice.
Okay. Anything else? Running out of stuff, but no shields. Anybody else? Anything else?
Armor.
No armor, just weapons. Stockpiles of weapons.
I just want to load up the bag of holding with everything so we can sell it when we're done.
All right. You obtain another 15 plus 3 magical weapons. It would be worth millions of gold, probably.
I mean, wait, do you have a bag of holding, or do I need to math out the
No.
weight?
Ardrith has a bag of holding as well. It's complete. Too.
Okay.
Ardrith could.
All right.
I'd like to give it to people who weren't gods who don't need money anymore.
Well, I mean, we're all
Ardrith needs
gods
to
with money.
fix the castle. He survives.
All right. Yeah. What else do you guys want to do?
I guess now we use the bomb on the crowd of people out there.
Yeah,
Use
that was-
invisibility.
Yeah, are we going to use invisibility? Because if we're just going to blow them up anyway, what's the point of invisibility? I don't.
Well, you make Faith invisible so she can plant the bomb, and then
Drop the bomb, aerial strike. You know.
Yeah, I don't want to be near that thing.
yeah, you place it, then you run away.
Yeah, exactly. I'm agreeing
Okay.
with him. Aerial strike, drop it from above.
Oh,
So,
okay.
big question here: are we going 8th level invisibility where everyone's invisible, or are we doing 2nd level spell where just Faith is invisible?
I mean, if I can
think-
drop the bomb from the air while invisible, you guys could just like chill out in here. You're probably safe in the armorer's room.
The armorer
the-
turns to you and is like, "You are not safe." and then he like goes back to work.
I
Can we take him with us?
I would just like to propose that maybe our doomsday device could be used later on. Maybe there's something more dangerous than a crowd of acolytes in the far realms.
So, our plan is to turn invisible and blindly jump into a portal, which we don't know where it goes. We know it goes to the farming realms, but we don't know where exactly. Dain is waiting on the other side, and it's been foretold that whatever we do, we will be doing exactly what Dain wanted us to do. So
We also have to cross a lake of fire. Just saying.
that would make farming difficult, don't you think? I don't. Oh well. So yeah, that's what you want to do, Dain. Dain, sorry, Dain on the mind.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Everyone hold very still, please.
So
I'm gonna
I'm gonna give you in advance what you would be up against, okay, so that you can make the choice. All right. It's clear that there are angels in the next room, Deva, right? They will roll, and they're very perceptive, but they're going to roll at disadvantage. And if they succeed, it's only going to be that kind of like Skyrim, like what was that? And then they're going to start trying to find you, right? So that's kind of what you're up against. So you have a very good chance of success, but that's what you have to work with, just so you know.
Okay. I'm going to burn both of my 7th level spell slots. First, I'm going to cast non-detection on myself. For the duration, can be hidden. I'm hidden from divination magic. Target a willing creature placed in dimension cannot be seen by divination magic or through magical scrying. Don't know if that's going to help, but I really feel
What
like
is
it
it
will.
again? What's the name of it?
Non-detection.
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 And that's just for you?
Me specifically.
Okay.
It's one target, 7th level. And then my second one, I'm going to upcast invisibility. So remind me if my math is correct. So 2nd level, for every level above 2nd, you get 1 additional creature. So 2nd level is me. So 3 would be 2 people. 4, 5, 6, 7. I need the 8th level to cast on the angel with us as well. So I'm going to burn my only 8th level spell slot on invisibility for everybody, including Larry.
I'll actually say if you burn your 8th level spell slot, that you're just totally invisible and you can make it.
Oh, well then.
That's pretty powerful.
Okay. But yeah, so we're all invisible.
But like, what does that look like when like Kaber does this like extremely powerful magic?
Haber literally tells everyone to stand still, and then like he starts doing this ritual where he crosses his legs, and while his legs are crossed, these almost semi-transparent satyr legs start dancing, like river dancing below him. And while he's doing it, like mid spell, he like loses concentration for a moment, like Catalan, stop breathing, and then he continues, and he gets to the point where like he's holding these orbs, these crystalline looking orbs, and he slowly hands them out to everyone, and then he's like, all right, on the count of 3, you're gonna pinch them, and then they all kind of like comical bubbles, they pop, and then when they pop, everyone turns invisible.
All right. Yeah, you do that. And now you are completely invisible as a whole group. You're able to... I'm just going to move your tokens to where what you would see. There is this room, as Kaber described it, that's just absolutely full of people in robes that are working and chanting, and people that are sensing, and they're doing these like rituals in the air with their hands around everything that's going on. And then there are these angels that are standing guard, and they look like they're just like motionless and with their heads hung almost like they're not even alive, with their eyes inky black. And you're able to get on this gondola of supplies and make it without being noticed into the portal. Does anyone want to do anything else before you go into the portal?
I'm just
Hannah one
confirming.
holds his breath so nobody can hear it.
I was just going to confirm: we're holding the bomb and taking it with us, right? We're not dropping it here or leaving it here. I just wanted to
I
confirm
believe
this.
we are taking it with us. Yes,
Okay. I was
I
just
thought
making sure we're all on the same
invisibility
page.
countered the whole blowing everybody up thing once we expanded past just doing it to Fade.
Understood. Yeah, agreed. All right. I was all I. Yep, that's up for me.
I feel like we'll probably need it on the other side of the portal anyway, so.
All right. Here is what you see as you go through the portal.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
My.
A castle inside of a castle. On top of an tarantula?
that
On
looks
top
really
of a
Pile of
land of worms.
Hi!
You you
Aren't you, sweetheart? I'm just kidding. I don't say that.
So you're actually in that fortress on that structure when you come out the other side, but immediately you sense that you're in someplace else. The air is you're unable to get the sense that you can get a full breath, and it feels claustrophobic. There is this like wretched, stinking green mist as far as you can see. Strange alien keenings and wails and long, lopping, slithering, slapping noises that tear at your eardrums as far as you can hear into the distance. There are huge shadows of things moving far below, and you even feel the ground slowly tilt and tilt. And you get the sense that the very structures around you are on top of something, and it itself is moving. There's these ruined spires above you of some ancient city, and it eventually becomes clear to you that you're riding on the back of some landmass-sized creature on an endless realm of maggots and worms, as far as you can see. There are these drifting banks of fog with a nauseating green hue. And it looks also like the laws of nature do not entirely apply here. The only structure in sight that you can see that isn't ruined, that has some integrity among this dead city, is a tall, dark tower. And it twists its way through the sky above without any care for orientation or reason, part of it floating in the air. Yeah, and that is what you see here.
Haber whispers as the stench of this place is also making it hard for him. He is still concentrating on invisibility, and he simply whispers, 1 hour.
If he stays within 10 feet of Faith, he also has +4 on saves.
Haber nods with his head beating sweat.
So now's the time to split the party, right, guys?
Sounds right to me.
Nothing can go wrong.
So we're in this Castlevania-style castle on the back of a tarantula and this demi-plane of doom. What is in
More
our
likely some sort of bloodborne pathogen-bearing parasite like a termite or tick,
I
but
was about to say it looks more
miles wide.
what I meant to say was, what is in our immediate vicinity? Like, what is around us?
Right.
How do we navigate?
Right, so you can see all these ruined structures, moats of them floating. All of them are completely ruined. They have no integrity. There's nothing about them. The only thing here that has any integrity, that looks like it has anything going on, is you can see this like temple, and there are lights emanating from it up ahead of you. It's the only structure that has anything going on. And then up above it is a light as well, hidden behind parts of the temple that are floating in the air. I can show you that thing.
Where is the tether going?
I will actually show you just what it looks like here to help you visualize it. The tether ends that you came in on, and you are now on the other side, and it just ends, and it goes back. The gondola goes back through the portal.
So there's no receiving end of the tether here.
It goes through the portal, and then it like ends at an anchor, similarly onto the structure on the ground, and then that's it. Yeah.
Oh, so there is a identical anchor on this end. That's what my question was.
Sorry. Yeah, and you can see that there are a bunch of like figures up ahead in this structure, and then that are surrounding it, but they're just sort of like shambling around. And then there are scraps of paper that are falling and floating from the sky above.
Can we catch the scraps of paper, or is there any writing on them or anything?
Yeah, roll a d6.
I got a 4.
Sorry, Kyle, can you like mute? It kind of sounds like you're blowing your nose.
No, I got.
I didn't know if he was actually
thought he was
asleep
snoring.
snoring or what was going on.
That's all right. Yeah, would you get a 6? What'd you say? 4.
Got a 4.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you find this. Wow, roll 20 is really slow.
Gotcha. Alrighty.
Cryptic. Ooh.
You know what? Here's a good question. We've just jumped through a portal. I've been known to jump through portals on occasion. Do I have any inkling of where we are? I know the Far Realms was mentioned previously, so that would be my educated guess. But
So-
do I have any other information?
I think that the information here for Dain that's very useful and important is what you don't know, which is you have seen every imaginable plane of existence. You have seen planes of fire, you've seen planes of air, you have seen planes of floating nothingness and etherealness and astral seas, and you have never seen this before.
Gotcha. Scary.
But he has seen airplanes, you say?
Kriv, you have also never seen this. However, the noises you hear echoing off in the distance, you definitely recognize as the sounds that were inside of your mind.
Oh. Okay.
Haber's face is beet red as his eyes start to go bloodshot as he's still concentrating on his ability. What are we doing? We have limited time here.
Well, it seems like we've got our destination. There's a tower there. Mr. Dungeon Master, you said that there was a light near the top of the tower. Does it look like, which was separated physically from some of the rest of the tower? Does it look like there's a way to enter that top portion of the tower from the outside?
Well, you do have your pocket horses.
Yes.
Probably the pocket horses or magic.
And 2 flying angels.
And 2 angels that fly.
Yeah, I think I think we have a destination.
Alright, we followed in.
Okay. So you take your pocket horses out, and these like flying creatures like suddenly come out of everybody's pockets. Kriv and Ardrith and Haon, I assume you all wanted minor wormlings like tiny dragons. Is that right?
Yes.
Everybody wanted a tiny dragon.
That's correct.
I
then-
wanted to pick this version.
You had you have strawberry. who is now a Pegasus, if I recall correctly, right?
Yes.
And then Din has Bloody Beak.
Yes.
And then what does Catalan have? I can't remember. Another owl?
I honestly can't remember.
I can't remember either. What do you want?
I believe Katawan wanted an owl, but if he changes his mind, I'm not gonna fight him.
An owl is fine.
I
I'll
thought you
take
said
an owl.
wyvern, right? So like, yeah.
All right.
Take an owl.
King is
then-
literally flexing on us.
The two angels are able to fly, and you fly up into this temple, and you see things.
Yeah, I don't know what Din means by us. Ain't nobody flexing on me. I got wings of my own.
This
I think
this
that,
tower is a mind-shattering mess of impossible geometry, things turning in on themselves and floating and stuff like that. The staircases seem to turn in space on themselves in places, which doesn't concern you because you have your flying mounts. You're able to find a place to land where you can see a platform where there is a figure where there are all sorts of tools that are clearly magical, and there is an altar, and there's a gigantic beast that roars, and it shakes against some sort of arcane chain, and you can hear in your mind, and everybody can make a that is not immune to this in some way, would make a wisdom saving throw.
Don't forget that Hero's Feast. You get and make all wisdom saving throws with advantage because of the Hero's Feast.
And everyone within 10 feet of me gets a +4.
Which is a great question. How many of us are within 10 feet of faith?
Everybody's within 10 feet. You all get it
Lovely.
for now. And
Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah,
With
wisdom
advantage, +4.
From then on,
The
these distances are
19
accurate,
from
though.
me.
13 for me.
13.
Oh my
Does a 29 or a 35 work?
24 for Ardrith.
24. Okay, so far Criv's not doing hot. Catalan, what'd you get?
10.
10. Okay, so that's bad. Okay.
With
All right.
advantage. I can't even.
Tabor got an 18.
All right. Katawan and Kriv, you take you take 6 psychic damage as your nose starts to bleed, and you just hear the word echo in your mind, giving you a throbbing headache. Kriv, over top of voices that are already speaking into your mind, hate, over and over again. It makes you sick. And anyways, this beast is like fighting against these massive arcane chains and locks that cover this thing, and then come into the center to some large arcane mechanism. And there's this person, a humanoid, quite tall, probably 7 to 8 feet tall, just standing and looking, except bizarre energy flowing from him, as if he's constantly being destroyed but not ever going away. And he turns, and you can still see facial expressions, and you see a smile. And he regards you silently for a moment. What do you do?
I would like it if the party let me fulfill the promise I made in order to get us here, and approach him to speak.
Is it possible to drop invisibility on one of the characters and hold it on the rest?
I mean, he's smiling at us. I don't think the invisibility is helping.
Okay, good call. Gabriel's just gonna drop invisibility. I don't think it's gonna help us either.
Well, he couldn't see you, I think, but
Oh, yeah, can I keep it on myself?
yeah. All right. So you
Okay.
stay visible, and
Well,
everybody
like,
else is. I'm gonna put you like well, I'll just give you your thing, your stealth.
there we go.
Yeah. Okay. And then, all right. What were you gonna say, Faith?
I mean, I'm just gonna start by like straight up asking him. It's like, hey, everyone we've run across seems to think you're doing good things, but you're also corrupting angels and trying to destroy our place. So like, what's up?
Um, everybody make perception checks. And then he strides forward a few paces, and in a booming, echoing voice that sounds like fire and grating and ember being torn across a wind, and a burning structure or campfire, like fire that's like peeling something away as he
5 on
talks.
perception check for.
He says, Faith, have you ever loved anyone?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that actually, but yeah.
Caber, Faith, and Din, you look up into the sky and you notice it looks like there are things like flies at first. You'd assume that this place, as pestilent as it is, surrounded by something like flies. They're getting larger. And, then he says, what would you do for someone you loved?
Well, I put her down.
Woof.
Mm-hmm.
He like stops it for a moment, and you can actually see his facial expression change to one of disgust as he looks at you, and he's like, I don't think you've ever known. You're supposed to be some sort of angel, but I saw when the time came, I saw you fail, just like so many other things that pretend to be righteous and holy. You are full of self-righteousness and violence and selfishness.
In all reality, all righteousness is self-righteous because everyone only sees the world through their own point of view.
Can you see me now? Even now, witch? Ilaria and I were lovers. The things beyond the veil destroyed her mind as well. And then I saw this. I did hire him, and he nods toward Hayon and Hayon and Katawan. How far you've come. I did hire you to kill her, and you did. And you put an end to her and her device and the Eye of Darkness. We had a daughter. I love her. Her mother was distant, deteriorating even back then. I don't think she ever had a chance. She went to Faerun and joined a cult. When she died, it's true. There are gods. They don't have our interest at heart. They took her, they plucked her from that wall of misery, and Kelimvor cast her into the Stygian abyss. The god of plots. For a long time after it happened, I thought I would just keep fighting monsters back in the Vale, and the more I fought, the more they were coming, and in time, I discovered why the previous kingdoms used the magic they did. Anthropomancy. The ability to change someone. And then you can see that like thing behind him, like that's chained, like slamming against the chains, and you hear the whispers in your mind saying hate, hate, hate. And Dain says, we changed ourselves to fight the monsters. I was happy to see you arrive. And he looks at Ardrith and Kriv and Haon, or Ardrith, Kriv, and he's like, I was hoping things could change. It was clear that Ilaria was already lost to the device. You know what happened there, but you don't know everything. I spent millennia after I went into the portal. Millennia exploring the far realms. It may have only been days in your time, I don't know. I became convinced of the inevitability of this place. The Veil is a cancer. It is a growth on the multiverse. There's something behind it. It just hungers. It just wants to consume. It doesn't have a mind or a regard for mortal life. It just wants to eat. And then my hope for Matilda would be lost, that I could somehow bring her back from Stygia. But I didn't give up hope. So plans were made in this place, free of time, across millennia. Free from the constraints of time in the prime material plane. I became an avenging angel for worlds. I helped some. I saved some. Others I burned. Other worlds I destroyed. I staved off the horrors of this place. Time is a funny thing in the Veil. It's separate from other places. But I found someone, and he turns back to the beast, this winged beast that's hundreds of feet wide and has these chains, and he's like, someone who you called a friend. His hate would allow him to endure the millennia as he changed and went back to the beginning. Vrukon. He was willing to change, willing to be shattered because of his hatred of you. That's all that's needed.
Wait, of who?
Hatred of, he says, hatred of all of you, of the heroes of the Veil.
Oh.
And
I'm
the
like, I
Veil.
don't know no Vrukon.
Faith would not know who Vrukon is. The only thing needed to bring about the apocalypse of the Veil and let Vrukon do what he wishes is time. And here you are. My last surprise.
So, sob story aside, your intent is to destroy the Veil using your dragon friend here. Because fuck them.
The thing behind this mind from this place, it will enter the Veil, and through it, enter the multiverse and devour our worlds. And it will be nothing for it.
Well, you die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, and I don't think that's happened to us yet, but I'd definitely say it's happened to you, brother Euronheart. Actually, make that just Dain Euronheart. You're not brother of mine.
I've seen dire hearts fall from grace and lose their faith. Believe fighting is not worth it. You're not willing to do what needs to be done. I've seen heroes murder people senselessly. I've seen them threaten, terrorize, force into submission. What's your intention?
I mean, yeah, I'm satisfied that the talks are not working out, so I feel like my oath to the Kirin is fulfilled.
Meanwhile, things are growing much larger in the distance.
So, yeah, with my 35 perception check, do I see what these things are? Are they more dragons? Are they more angels? Are they...
You see two things. You can see it was occluded from the structure, but beyond and behind Rukon is another portal, and there are these ships, these massive ships that are flying through the air, and they're entering the portal. And then there are also these things that are winged, and there are more of these dark angels, and they're starting to come towards you.
Okay. Well, I'll wait to see if anyone has anything else to do.
I mean, the only other thing I'd want to try is, like, blowing up the dragon with the bomb, but, like, I feel like we should be using that to mass kill all these angels, but I don't want to necessarily kill them all. Like, can I use the ring of telepathy or telekinesis to, like, get the bomb into the dragon's mouth?
You can. Meanwhile, Felsane can make an Arcana check with advantage.
Holy crap. Alright, give me 1 second. I didn't actually expect any of the character sheet.
Sorry, Jake, were you saying something?
Nope, I'm just waiting to make sure everyone else has their things done, because you has an idea.
And I already get Arcana checks with advantage, so do I get double advantage?
Well, you passed, so
Okay.
I will send you a message if I can find your direct. Nope, not that.
I'm under faith.
I'm gonna do it in Discord because it's faster.
That works too. Felsane immediately uses one of her little wish spells to, like, mass message the whole party that information.
Oh, well.
So every single one of you just gets a message in your head.
Nope, no, you don't. Nope, 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 nope. No. Meanwhile, somewhere else in the multiverse, Felsane, you're in command of your cauldron back in Prismere, and you're like watching what's going on, and you've got books. I would imagine because you have the, what is it called, the mind thing. What is it? The
manifest mind.
Manifest mind. So you've got probably books that are flying around you, like, you know, and different ones open, and different, like, lots of things going on at once as you're trying to help your friends out, and you're about to, like, you see this beast, and you're like, oh no. And then, like, you move in to send this message. A very simple use of your power for what power you can muster. When all of a sudden, you can make a extremely difficult Arcana check.
Do a dirty 20 or a dirty 20. I literally got the same two rolls in reverse order.
It's not enough! As all of a sudden magical energy pours out from the cauldron, and you see a mind competing with you on the other side. as something has found you and is watching. And there is another powerful spellcaster that has entered the fray and is trying to block you from warning your friends.
Such an appropriate name. I mean,
crappiest.
Actually, and then meanwhile, someone else is also going to get involved. But it's not enough. Yeah, and you suddenly see another mind somewhere else, surrounded by arcane objects, as remotely these powerful spellcasters are trying to inhibit and stop one another.
like, is Finkel trying to stop me too, or is he trying to help me?
You're not sure, but what's clear to you is that he was trying to stop Kellic. But you were unable to get your message, and Kellic was able to stop you from using your second one, and you've lost your second one. Now, before you could, in order to not lose your third one, you'll need to stop Kellic. At least.
Is what he's doing like an active spell, or like he's already activated it and now I'm suffering it?
It is an active spell, and I'm going to move back to everyone else, and we'll resolve that here in about 15 minutes. Meanwhile, back in the ruined tower, you do not receive a message.
Does anyone have any other non-combative things to be spoken to today? Or any other activities? Okay. Caber gets in a position where he's behind Dain and takes out his rapier, and he gets so close to this semi-transparent, semi-physical being, and he whispers, "I have killed heroes, and I'll kill one more." And he's going to try to plunge his rapier into Dain from behind. So I'm invisible. I'd imagine that would give me advantage on this check, but I don't know if you want to...
It's awesome because this is how you killed his wife, but I'm going to say that it automatically hits.
Okay.
Because the spell you're using, it's effective against true sight, right?
It's non-detection, so you
Yeah,
could...
I'm just going to say it works.
It's just... Yeah,
It's
protected
fine.
from divination magic. I don't know what divination magic
That's
would pertain
fine.
to.
Roll for damage.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and roll my d20 anyway, because if I get a nat 20, I can do extra damage. So that's just for giggles, I guess. So 15 does not give me my thing, so I just do 1d8. Wow, that was miserable. 2 plus 5, so 7 damage. 7 magical piercing damage.
Okay. Magical piercing, blah, 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 does all that. Yeah. That. It does not do 7, and instead does 4.
Okay.
And, that is your surprise round.
Okay.
Anything else?
Well, attacking will also drop my visibility because it's not true visibility.
I think the cool thing, this is what I think happens, is you almost killed him like you would have killed his wife as you appeared, but instead, he is I would imagine you probably fumble or something. Like, instead of doing the killing blow, I don't know.
I imagine he's like half physical, half smoke.
Yeah.
And he's like last second is able to reactionary, like move his smoky form in the way where my pierce just kind of runs through him and basically misses. But it looks like I plunged it from my direction, but from his direction, it's like clearly I missed.
He draws out this like blade that is also seeming to deteriorate, but not deteriorating like him, and he faces you, and everybody can roll for initiative. We'll probably do one round, and then we'll pause it.
17.
14 for
24.
Kriv.
10 for Catalan. I think that's my highest roll so far tonight. It's a 10.
18 for Ardith.
15?
18.
18?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, I got 19. He is able to go first, it looks like. Dan got a 14.
I got a 24. I don't know how high he got.
He got a 14. Neon, Ardrith. Who am I missing? Faith got a 17.
Yep.
I got
And
a 24. I don't know if you marked it down or not.
No,
So, like,
I'm checking. I'm checking.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna go first. So it goes Caber, and the monsters go. Except I will put the other monsters last, because that seems fair when you're doing group initiative like that. Okay, so the first thing he is gonna do is he's going to try to kill Caber.
Come at me.
All of a
I'm not scared.
Are you looking at him? You are.
Yeah, I'm staring right at him.
Yeah, as soon as you try to stab him, he turns around. Suddenly, something comes from his eyes, and like you feel like you're almost tumbling in space and time as you look into his eyes. You can make a charisma saving throw.
Oh, charisma. Is this like charming effect? Because if so, I have advantage.
This is not a charm. No.
Okay. I'll still get plus 11. I nat 20 for 31.
A 31 passes, barely,
I hope so.
and instead he will do his
flash
attacks.
at me, and my eyes flash green in response.
Yeah, I think that is what happens. And he's going to do this twice. Why do I have two numbers there? What's that even
It looks
mean?
like you're rolling at advantage.
Oh, I wonder why it does that. Well, I'll just use the first number.
Okay.
Does
Both
a
hit.
they
Yeah.
both hit?
Yeah, 17 is my armor class.
Okay. All right. Crap. Okay. Let me see here. You want me to use the dice, right? You don't want me to use the basic number.
I like the dice because the variables. I mean, the bell curves usually have big averages anyway, but see those ones. That's what I'm talking about. Look at the delicious ones.
Right. Okay, so 19 plus 16. I'm going to need a calculator for this stuff.
Okay, I can just do 19 first and then 16.
35.
35, thank you. And then in addition to that, you also take...
Holy shit.
You take 17 plus 20 is 37, plus 2 is 39, plus 25 is 39, 20, 59, plus 5 is 64. You take 64 psychic damage as this blade slams into you.
Okay, 64 total or 64 plus the 35 initial?
Plus the 35 initial.
Okay.
It was 8d8. Let me make sure I did that right. But it was twice, so it's 16d8.
Okay.
All right. And that is his turn. And that makes it...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
that's Caber's turn.
Okay. Caber is going to action. This is so difficult now. so difficult, this choice here. We're going to bonus action summon a measly little Scotty to help me along. As a bonus action, he gets to make one attack. So go ahead and roll that. 29 to hit.
29 does not hit. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
All right.
29 does hit. It hits.
Okay. I'm gonna also go ahead and roll for my rapier attack. It's 24 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. So that makes it easy because then it's just 2d8. Why is this not moving? There we go. Sorry. I'm trying to use roll 20 because I don't have my physical dice with me. So 6 plus 10, 16 damage.
16 total?
Yep. So 8 of it is radiant damage and 8 of it is slashing damage.
Okay. 8 magical slashing?
Yes.
Okay.
Or piercing, sorry.
So
Piercing.
he's going to take half of that. So that would instead be... How much was the total again?
It was 16, but you were taking half of it, so you're taking 12 total.
12 total. Okay. Got it. Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, nope. That's what I got.
All right. He's going to use his legendary action and teleport in the middle of all of you. And then he's going to... everybody can roll a dexterity saving throw.
+4.
Did you say dexterity?
Yep.
Do I need to roll
26?
Yeah,
I got
everybody... Well, not
22.
Caber. Not Caber. Okay. +4, right?
+4 to whatever shows up in that chat, yep.
So
Let's see, at
far,
35,
Hayon failed.
Like,
Catawan failed. Man, Catawan. You can use your shield, remember, if you want.
Yeah.
But then
20
you don't have it the next
That's
turn.
a 24
Wait,
for
Aeon?
Ardrith.
Aeon failed with an 18.
And my AC will go down too. I don't want that.
He did fail with an 18.
Holy
and so
crap.
Catawan and Hayon failed. And so they take 46 psychic damage. And another 46 necrotic damage. As like all of a sudden these tendrils of black energy start to whisper in your mind as all this stuff starts to pour out of his eyes. Unless you have some resistance to it, you would take 22 damage.
Is it poison?
It's no. It's it is psychic and necrotic for Hayon and Catawan.
What's the total damage?
22.
Oh, I thought it was 46.
All right, and then let's see. We'll get some more turns in here real quick. Hayon.
All right. Well, since he's right there, I'm going to, let's see. I'd like to know what his current HP is, since our good friend Faith talked to him for a minute.
It's a measly 233.
Oh, that's not bad. And then I would like to do a goading attack on him. Let's see with the Sunblade. 30 to hit,
30 hits.
and that deals 16 radiant damage.
16 radiant damage.
Uh,
It feels as if your blade passes through vapor, but you can still sense that it is striking him.
what is this right here? Oh yeah. Is he undead?
You can take the benefits of that. No, but yes.
Okay, so an extra 10 damage for that.
All right.
And then he has to do a DC 19 strength saving throw. No, not strength. What is it? Building attack. Wisdom saving throw, DC 19.
Wisdom saving throw DC 19. He has advantage.
Oh yeah, he got it.
Nat 20 plus. I won't say. But
Really
something.
big number.
Yeah.
All right, so he got that. And I'm gonna do another attack. I'm gonna do a fainting attack. All right, let's see. Ooh, that's not good. I'm gonna use luck on that one. Oh, damn it. So that one misses. Let's see. Then just a regular attack, I guess. 25 to hit.
25 hits.
And that's 15 radiant and another 8. So 23 radiant damage.
23. He instead takes 12. 12.
Alright. And then I'm gonna action surge. And do another fainting attack. $22.
Hits.
And radiant. And then another 16 radiant.
The one against the undead automatically happens. So that's what, 8, and then you did.
No, the one against the undead is 16.
Okay. And then what's the other
Yeah.
damage?
10.
10. So 5 plus 16, 21.
Yeah.
21.
And then
Okay.
and then I have to. Oh, sorry. There's one more die. Because I used a fainting attack, I get a D10 damage. Another 8.
Okay, and that would be half, so that's 4.
Yeah.
63.
Alright.
Okay. Anything
So
else?
that was a fainting attack. And that means I get advantage on this next one. For 24.
Hits.
14 regular damage.
14 regular damage, which... Wait, regular?
It's radiant damage.
Ah, radiant. Okay, so that would be
Yeah.
7. Okay.
And then 15 against undead.
15 against the undead, which would be 85. That's automatic. Okay.
Yep.
Anything else?
Yeah, he's got one more attack. And I'm going to do the goading attack again. 27. 17 normal damage. Or radiant damage.
8, so 9. Okay, 9.
And then 11 undead damage.
Okay.
And he's got to make a DC 19 wisdom saving throw.
He's got advantage. I'll just use the first numbers, but he got a 20 on the first one, 27 on the next one.
He makes it. And then let's see. I will save that last action surge and say that is the end of my turn.
He is surprised at this fury that comes from this elf all of a sudden. as this blade preternaturally appears around him and through him as he's desperately trying to parry it off. And you actually hear screams come from him. And he uses his legendary action to teleport. And
By the way, for being within 30 feet of me and being undead, he does take 4 radiant damage.
all right. 4, so 9. Okay. Yes. And then he teleports away as part of his legendary action back to here. Katawan, you got a 10 on your initiative, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So he teleports back to Vrukon, and he's actually wounded. And as these angels are coming in, and they're getting close, and you can see them now, and they and he says, she lied to you. She lied to all of you. You can't go back to where you came from. You've lost everything. The golden nut, your friends. If you go back now, you will bring this place with them, and it will tear itself apart. You will be evil gods, and you will only become everything that you've seen us become. You can never go back. You can turn back now. Let me destroy the veil, and you can return back to your worlds the way you came.
But I like the veil.
I'm assuming that's what everybody's going to say, right?
I'd rather we die here together.
He says, so be it. And he reaches up, grabs the arcane lock, and rips it off. And then this thing, it roars. And this energy flows from that thing into him as all of a sudden it flaps its giant wings and darts into the portal. And you see it disappear as all those ships are flowing into it. And Dain suddenly starts to scream and writhe as this energy from this thing comes into him. And it suddenly, you can only hear whispers of hate in your mind coming from what was once Dain Yearnheart. And that's where we will end the session for tonight.
So did he just stick a dragon on the veil?
Yes.